Hey there, Regina Ayler here, and it is time for Tips and Tricks Tuesday. This week we are talking about simplicity in your business overall, and there are so many different areas to simplifying your business. Today I want to talk about simplifying your tool stack. Now, what do I mean by that? Think about all the things you need to run your business. Maybe you have a CRM, maybe you have a calendar app, you have one or multiple AI tools that you're working with. Maybe you have a designer app like Canva or something like that. There are all of these tools and things that we need to run our business. Where we tend to get in trouble is when a new tool comes out or when something is shown to us by somebody. We're on a meeting maybe, and they're like, oh, and I'm using this to create this. And you're like, oh, I got to go check that out. Now you go in, you sign up for the free trial, and then you sign up for that. And then 6 months later, you find out you're not using it anymore. So I want to talk about simplifying your tool stack when it comes to your business. Now, I know I mentioned about AI because AI tools in the title here for simplifying your AI tools, a lot of people are getting hung up on all of the different tools that are out there. There are literally hundreds of thousands of AI tools out there now. And, it used to be, it started out with a handful, and then all of a sudden it started growing and growing and growing and growing. And the AI tool business has become its own monster, right? And it's growing every single day. There's new stuff coming out every day. So it's really easy to get sucked into that. Oh, let me try out this tool. Let me try out that tool. And then you start adding things. And before you know it, maybe you get to your monthly bookkeeping, quarterly bookkeeping, maybe it's end of the year, depending on what you do. And you actually take a look and you're like, oh my gosh, why am I paying for all of these AI tools? I'm not even using half of them. This is what we're talking about when it comes to simplifying. What do you actually need to run your business? You see, every new tool that you decide to pick up, it adds a new decision for you every time you sit down to do something. Oh, am I going to use this tool or am I going to use this tool? Now you have to stop and think, oh, which one am I going to use to do this? When you switch back and forth between tools, it can sometimes become daunting and a little overwhelming because depending on what you're doing, it can break your focus. It can eat up your time. There's so many different things that happen when you just have too many things in front of you to choose from. Think about going into a restaurant and looking at a menu. And you go into one restaurant, they have a nice streamlined menu, and here's your appetizers, here's your salads, here's your dinner choices, and it's pretty straightforward. And then you go into, I don't know about you, but I've been into some Italian restaurants where it's like 3 pages of menu items, and it's all small print because there's so much to choose from. And you're literally going, I have no idea. Everything sounds good. That's what it's like with your tool stack. You can have all of this stuff out there and it just gets daunting, overwhelming. Cut your focus, eat your time, and you don't need all that. You just need what you need to run your business. So that's where we start. What is it that you need for tools to run your business? Chances are pretty good. You need a CRM. You need a customer relationship management program. Some of them are all encompassing, some of them not so much. If you have something like Go High Level, Kajabi, Kartra, one of the bigger ones that includes a whole bunch of different things, that can cover your emails, your automations, it can do landing pages, you can create courses inside of them, so you don't need different apps for each one of those things. Or you might have different pieces that you're putting together. Maybe you have a membership course app, and then you have your email CRM for just your customer, your CRM for your customer relations. There's nothing wrong with that. That's all part of a tech stack. The problem comes when you're all over the place and you keep changing up your tech stack. And that's happening a lot with folks with AI because a new AI tool comes out, the latest and greatest. If you're one of those people, I am not, But if you're one of those people who's like have to have the latest and greatest tech every single time it comes out, if you have the latest iPhone that comes out all the time, you know that, it's like, oh, the next new toys out there, next new toys out there, next new toys out there. Well, that's great. And underutilizing it on your business. So think about building that small tech stack instead of like a junk drawer of 5 million different apps. And I'm not going to lie, I am guilty of this myself, because something new comes out and it's like, oh, that looks really good, I think I'll use this. Recently, I love the app Notion. Perfect example. I love the app Notion. I subscribe to Notion. Right now, I am still subscribed. Right now, it's on my list of things to remove. Why? Because as much as I love it for an app, for me, for my particular business, I'm not using it and I don't need it. I like it. I recommend it, but I'm not actually using it. And I subscribe to it with the idea of, oh, I really like this tool. I really want to promote this tool because it does a great job. And if you're this type of business, it is perfect for you. But the thing is that my business isn't the type of business that it's perfect for. So it's like, why do I have this tool? So now I'm going to go in and remove it. So we all do it. We all add the stuff in. But what I want you to do is be conscious and be aware of all of these tools. Go look at your credit card bills or wherever it is, your PayPal, wherever it is that you buy all of your apps, you pay for all these apps. And go look at a full year worth of purchases, because some of them are annual purchases. Go see what you've purchased. Are you using every single one of those tools? There are core things that you need. There's a core tech stack that your business needs. I don't know what it is for your business because I don't know what your business is. Everybody's tech stack is different depending on what they do. At minimum, chances are good you need a CRM. You need probably 1 or 2 or more AI tools. Depends on what you're doing, because there's different AI tools for different things. Maybe you need a design tool like a Canva or something like that. Maybe you're creating websites, funnels someplace else. You're using maybe Pocket Marketer or ClickFunnels or someplace else to do funnel work. You need to decide which tools are best for you. Now, that being said, there are combo tools out there right now. I just mentioned Pocket Marketer. I love Pocket Marketer. I work with them as well on the side. And one of the things I like about them is it incorporates a bunch of things into one tool. So I can do a whole bunch of things in there and create funnels and create content and create automation emails and stuff like that, and the content for them. I can do all of my stuff in there. And then I just need to put the information. Maybe if I'm doing an email automation, I'm creating the content for that over in Pocket Marketer in a project. Then I just need to put that into my CRM, which currently I'm using GHL. So I put it into there and I'm done. So 2 tools, job done. What are the tools that you need to run your business? From an AI standpoint, I have a core set of tools that I use every single week. I use ChatGPT, I use Claude, I use Notebook LM, and I use Pocket Marketer. That's my tool stack for AI. I don't need anything else. Now, if you're creating reels and stuff like that, maybe you have Opus, maybe you have something else, maybe you're using HeyGen or something like that. It depends on what you're doing. Again, it's individual to you. But don't get sucked into the drama of all the different tools that are out there. Find the tool that's best. Now, it doesn't mean you're not going to shift tools at some point because maybe a better tool comes out, but don't jump there when it first comes out. If you're a PC person and you've ever worked with Microsoft, you should understand this. You never, ever, ever buy a new Microsoft operating system when it first comes out. Why? Because all the bugs are in it and it hasn't been vetted out. They literally put this stuff out into the public so that the public can test it out and find all the bugs. So I have a rule that it has to be at least 6 months old, preferably at least a year old, before I will even purchase it, just because I want to make sure all those bugs have been worked out, all the updates have been put in, and I'm not walking into, their beta test. I'm not becoming their guinea pig, right? So think about the tools that you're using and what you're using them for. What do you really need them for? I recommend that you actually sit down and write this out. Write out, Here's what I do on a regular basis. I do live videos. I do reels. I do content. I create landing pages and funnels. Um, whatever it is that you do, write it out. And then start finding the tools that match what it is that you do and stick to those tools. Doesn't mean you might not check out a stray tool here and there, but simplify your tool stack. Have your core tool stack. It's your go-to ones that you use every week. Think about it. What are you doing this week? What tools are you using every week or this week? What tabs do you have open right now? And what tools are in there? I can tell you, I've got my ChatGPT, my Claude, I've got Notebook LM, I've got Pocket Marketer, and I have GHL all open. Those are my core ones that I have open. I have them saved in my settings for Chrome, so it opens up every time I open up Chrome. Those are my core tools. It doesn't mean I'm not going to bounce over to something else once in a while, but that's my core tool stack. I'm not going to go purchase other stuff unless I think there's a reason. Like I said, I purchased Notion. I purchased Manus. I had Manus for an AI tool for a while because Manus is actually really great at creating PowerPoint presentations. And I started doing some PowerPoint presentations. And then I realized I've been using Microsoft PowerPoint for so many years, like over 30 years, like probably since the first version of PowerPoint came out, I've been using it. I'm pretty proficient at using PowerPoint, and I actually like using PowerPoint. I don't need AI to create that. I use AI to help me maybe create some of the content I'm going to put on the slides, but then I go create it on PowerPoint because I like to do that. For me, that works. If you want Manus to go create something for you, you can do that. But once I decided, you know what, I don't need Manus anymore either, I actually canceled that subscription last month. So what tools are you subscribing to right now that you don't even remember that you subscribe to? Those are the ones to start with. Again, go look at your credit card statements where you purchase the stuff from. Highlight all the tools you bought this year or in the past 12 months. Are you using them? If you're not using them, either decide you're going to and what they're good for, or get rid of them. Why pay for something that you don't need? It's just throwing cash out of the window. So that's what I've got for you this week. I want you to actually consciously be aware of what it is that you're purchasing for tools and simplify that tool stack so that you can focus, you can save time, and you can be really proficient with those particular tools so that getting things done is super simple, easy, because you know those tools inside and out. Just like I know PowerPoint inside and out. I know ChatGPT. I know Pocket Marketer. I know Notebook LM. I know these apps inside and out. I could teach them. I could probably be on the support team for them at this point because they're tools that I know inside and out. What are those tools for you that you need for your business? Again, it's going to be a different stack. It might be, you might need HeyGen or Opus or other tools that are out there. There's so many tools that are out there that are potentials for your business. But which ones do you really need? Take a look at it and just see where you're spending all of your time and all of your money on potentially tools that you don't need. Get rid of the junk drawer, get rid of the tool junk drawer, and simplify that tool stack. That's what I've got for you this week. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.